couleur, mon dear frère. Jack, there was a.
Mm.
You know what's strange is one of the most important out. Oh, oops. I forgot to mute the stream. There we go. One of the most important albums I've ever bought. I had
Mm.
no intention of buying, and I didn't actually buy it. My friend did. We
Okay,
were
what was it?
we were in a Tower Records. We were
Okay.
18 years old in a Tower Records in Arizona, and he was
Mm-hmm.
browsing the world section and found this album of lullabies,
Mm-hmm.
international lullabies from different countries, all of that. Different. Every one of them was in a different language,
Mm-hmm.
and I cannot remember the name of it, and I cannot remember. I remember a couple of the lyrics. Fais de don colemo. Like I'm mispronouncing the whatever language it is. I
Okay.
think it was something called "As the World Gently Sleeps" or something
And
like that. But it's the weirdest. I listened to that album every single night
oh, so that's
for
why it's the most
years.
important.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. I
okay.
mean, I there are Midnight Marauders is a fantastic album. Nevermind was one I listened to
Never
because of
mind
Pearl
by
Jam.
Nirvana. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I listened
Yeah.
to Pearl Jam's Go over and over again. But this
Yep.
weird album of uh, lullabies that my roommate Impulse bought in Tower
Mm-hmm.
Records
Yeah.
when we were 18, and I stole from him, has
I
lived on in my head.
I would say the most important album I've ever bought. I mean, Nevermind was a big one, yeah, but probably Antichrist Superstar by Marilyn
Marilyn
Manson.
Manson, yeah.
Because that opened my eyes to a genre that I now love. But actually I didn't buy it the first time I heard it. I was talking to this goth kid that I was friends with, and I was like, he started talking about Marilyn Manson, and like most people, I was like, yeah, Beautiful People's a cool song. And then he was like, oh, Just You Wait, I'm going to bring the album and you can listen to it. So he brought me the album to our school. I went home and listened to it from start to finish. And at the end of the album, I thought I was going to hell. I was like, what did I just, I felt like I had sold my soul to the devil or something.
Yeah,
And I loved it.
it is an interesting aesthetic. Well, hi everyone.
Hey, friends.
If you want to go ahead and let us know in the chat what some of the most important albums have been for you. I think it's always
Mhm.
an interesting, seminal, important albums. Another one of mine was Wu Tang 36 Chambers of Death.
Mhm.
Yes,
Okay.
my friend Chris and I were
Wow.
those 16, 17-year olds
The white
driving
nerdy.
around the
Yeah.
white suburban kids
What's that?
singing
What's that
lyrics that we
movie?
really shouldn't have been singing
What is it?
in 1996, 97.
Malibu's Most Wanted. Have you seen that with Jamie Kennedy?
Mm-mm.
He's like this like white kid that thinks he's a rapper, and he thinks he's black. It's quite funny.
Well,
Um,
the weird thing is that albums from those period I listened to so many times that I can verbatim recall a number of the lyrics,
mhm.
including 36 Chambers. Like I can
Yeah,
do
yeah.
Cash Rules Everything Around Me and a number of different songs. Never Can Live Ever Again. What?
Yeah.
You know, that information is there.
When I was a teenager, I really liked Dr. Dre 2001, which I still think is the best rap album ever made.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah,
we,
yeah. Yeah.
we have a couple of answers here. Dire Straits, Brothers in Arms for Irish Jackie.
Oh, Blood Sugar
Uh,
Sex Magic was amazing,
that
Justin.
that is a great one. I really like that album. I also like Californication by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Another important one for me was
Oh, Downward Spiral was terrific. Sorry.
Downward Spiral.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Whew.
I liked
Um,
some of the later stuff. I enjoy once. I mean, I think he kind of like helped inspire Manson, and then he got a little more.
Oh, yeah.
He got a little more digital in the
Um,
later, and I
so
really enjoy it.
so the
His
story is
sound later on.
Basically, Trent Reznor sort of discovered Marilyn Manson and took them on tour. I can't remember which tour it was. It might have been the tour for the Downward Spiral. I'm not sure, but yeah, Trent Reznor is known as like the guy that discovered Marilyn Manson, essentially. Evanescence Fallen, I really liked that when I was a teenager.
Oh, the Linkin Park Jay-Z album was great.
Yeah.
Tom, I had that Eagles Unplugged album, but I didn't have Hotel California.
Justin Riley.
I listened to that album a lot.
I was literally about to say that myself. Slipknot's Volume 3, The Subliminal Verses. Slipknot's my favorite band, and it was that album that made me go, holy shit. I've got their logo tattooed on the back of my neck, which I can't really show you because that'd be awkward and weird. But yeah, that's a great album for sure.
Well, get
Pretty
used to
hate
this,
machine,
folks,
yeah.
because today Jack and I are watching Into the Woods, one of my least favorite episodes in all the Buffyverse. And yes, I'm counting Go Fish and all the rest of them. And then we're gonna. The reason we started a little bit more early, I mean on time today, is because the episode guide for this puppy is 40 minutes long.
Yeah.
And I was going back and forth on whether or not to watch it, but the patrons in the Hangout the last time convinced me by saying it pretty much says it squeezes the. I don't think there's it squeezes the sponge of frustration of that episode, wrings it out pretty well. So hopefully it can be a good setup for the patron Hangout conversation we're going to have immediately afterwards. We're getting an echo of Ian's sound.
That's that could be my headphones. I'm turning them down.
Okay. Yeah, it may have been. So, happy 4th to you, Dean.
Oh yeah. Happy Treason Day, folks.
Usually we start the patron hangout stream kind of roughly to start around 7 p.m. Eastern time. So we're going to do that again today, which means we're going to start it at 6:10, 6:15, which means I get a very small break between this stream and that one. But I think, yeah, it was Jack's headphones. It appears to be gone now. I think we just want to make sure that we start on time. So if you have not been to an episode rewatch conversation before, the playhead for our version of the episode is below us. Over there on that side is I believe the total length of the episode. That looks wrong though. Hold on. Nope, that's right. Okay. Ours does not have a previously on Buffy. It's a rip from the Euro DVD version. We are not allowed to stream the episode into YouTube for copyright concerns. So we're going to give you 5 minutes. Go and get your DVD. Fire up the Disney Plus, which is unfortunately the remaster. But Buffy is Buffy. Better to watch than to not at all, but to get to watch along with us. So yeah.
By the way, hello everybody. Herondale, Beach Girl, Sarah, Russell. I believe I saw Tom, Dean. Hi everybody.
Tom, you're going first today. Tom,
Yes.
I've been informed that for some reason I make you the caboose more often.
I said that. That was me.
Yeah,
I got your back, Tom. I got your back, buddy.
If that is the case, let me apologize. That was never on purpose.
No, it's never on purpose.
Yeah, I definitely in my head am doing some kind of informal order, but as for what it is, I have no idea. But I do love the idea of flipping each time, and whoever went last goes first. Tom, that's you.
I had a funny experience last night. Well, I thought it was funny. That's which means it's probably not funny.
Which means it's 50-50 chance.
Yeah, which means it's probably only funny to me. But
no, I love it.
We'll give it a shot. So my mom called me, right? And she was like, guess what I'm doing? And I'm like, I have no idea, Mom. What are you doing? And then she was like, listen. I'm like, okay. So she stops talking and start listening. and I hear the sound of my own voice. I'm like, "Are you watching the podcast?" And she was like, "Yes, I am." Of all the people in my family that could watch the podcast, I thought
Yeah.
my mum would be the least likely. But as far as I know, she's the only person in my family to
Lonnie
watch it.
always watches the podcast, which makes me very self-conscious. I walk in the
That's
room the next
sweet.
day and see that she's watching the podcast.
That's
Um,
sweet.
oh yeah, so Jack and I do a semi-monthly podcast called Podcast of the Nerds.
But to
Jack's
be
gonna
fair,
throw a link to the channel in the chat.
okay. It's
For
a
everyone.
weekly podcast. Let's be honest. It's a weekly podcast that we are trying to get back to doing weekly.
It's a weekly podcast in our hearts and minds.
But we are definitely going to be recording next week.
Yeah. What was our last conversation was about Don Juan DeMarco,
And-
romantic comedies, and our relationship to love and romance in our lives.
That is absolutely correct.
It's a bit like it's you know, if you're here for the Buffy, then you know.
There we go. I just spammed the chat with the link.
Russell says bring back bad takes. I think that's a good idea. We haven't done a bad take in a while.
Oh yeah, that's always a lot of fun. It takes prep work because
Yeah, we have to do a little.
yeah, it's like writing a speech almost. Well, no, it's exactly like writing a speech.
So one of the Kitsune, I unfortunately quit, but there's nothing stopping Jack. One of the
Wait, what?
One of the bad takes
Oh yeah, okay.
that we did originally, or the first one we did was Parker did nothing wrong, and then we randomly flip for who makes the argument one way versus the other, and then you get a minute, and then we have a debate about where one of us takes that point of view.
And I ended up with Parker did nothing wrong. Like,
Parker did nothing wrong.
Yeah, and it was horrible. I felt dirty and wrong. But Ian, the thing stopping me from drinking is that it's 7:00 in the morning. So no, I'm no
Wow.
thanks.
Never stop me on days like this, Jack. But
Russell, I don't not drink. I just don't drink very often. Like the last time I got drunk was like 2 years ago with my brother. I don't know. I have to have a reason to, and typically that reason is other people drinking around me. So I'm just like, oh, when in Rome, whatever. But I never feel like a compulsion to drink.
what must that be like?
I'm sorry, Ian.
Speaking of compulsion to drink, let's go ahead and fire up Into the Woods.
Thanks, Giera. I appreciate it. It's my fancy Nirvana shirt I got from Kmart.
So again, I just saw that Disney Plus does not have Buffy in the U.S. That's interesting. I think that just changed.
Okay.
I remember they had the remaster when they started, but maybe it was Disney Plus in.
It's in my neck of the woods.
Is it?
Okay. Well, last I checked, anyway. Sarah, I love you.
All right. So.
Oh wait, yeah, that's right. We're watching Buffy. Okay.
You don't have the.
Yeah. No, it's up. It's ready to go.
He's not the best color commentary man in the league for nothing, folks.
Oh, the sarcasm. I feel that. All right, I'm ready when you are, sir.
Hey, Jessica. Welcome. All right, Hi. So everyone get your copy ready. We're hitting play in 3, 2, 1, play.
And here
stop. Everyone hit stop.
Stop?
Yes.
Oh, crap. I'm at 4 seconds.
The playhead on my screen is wrong and not showing the correct episode. I see why.
Okay, I'm going back to the beginning.
I was wondering why that was the way it was.
I see what you did there, Sierra.
Sorry, everyone. False start. I just finished A Good Place rewatch. Why are you like this?
Oh, I love that show. So every time someone mentions that, my heart aches in the most beautiful way. Oh.
All right, starting over. Here we go. I now have the proper playhead up on screen.
Let's get it on.
Hitting play in 3, 2, 1, play. There we go. So our time's in the bottom left. So Jack, into the woods.
Yep. It's such a wonderful episode, Ian. It's great. It's just it's captivating. It's no, I don't know.
I'm feeling a little PTSD from the month of working on this.
That's fair. No, I don't hate it like you do. I mean, I don't particularly like it, but I don't have like a searing hate for it that you seem to have. Silence. Sorry. Did I throw you in the deep end there?
No.
And I absolutely adore the scene right at the end with Zanya. Oh, Zanya. Yeah, there we go. That works.
Ander.
Zanya's better, I think.
What's Anya's last name?
Jenkins. She made it up, but yeah. She makes it up when the Watchers Council comes to town, I think.
What's Riley's worst episode? This one. Or Doomed. Doomed is terrible.
What's one where he says, "You're gonna teach me"? That makes me throw up in my mouth.
That line is garbage, but
I hate that line.
You're gonna teach me. It's not her job, dude. Bleh.
Well, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's not.
I don't. It's her job to learn. It's not her job to teach. Everyone learns in a relationship. If that's where you're going.
But it was supposed to be a cute line, though. To me, it was a cute line that failed. It's
the crazy thing is that I think there were multiple attempts to give Riley his Oz in the van moment, right? So the story goes that the fandom was not taking a shine to Oz, so Whedon wrote the conversation in the van when they went to go get the rocket launcher, where he said, "See, in my fantasy, you're kissing me. It's okay.
Right.
I can wait." And the whole audience fell in love with him at that point.
Yeah.
They've done that a couple of times. They're usually very good at those kinds of exchanges. When I'm all alone, I ask myself, what would Buffy do? You're my hero. Like, they're good at those heart-rending, dramatic, beautiful lines. And Riley has none of them.
My favorite Riley line isn't actually Riley because it's in a dream. And I only like it, baby, because it's really
the sun go down?
Yeah. It's so poetic. That's the only reason I like it. I would have liked that line coming out of anyone's mouth. It just so happened that Riley said it in a dream.
The crazy thing is expecting writers to have a healthy idea of relationships. If they did, they probably wouldn't be writers.
I mean, that's...
The one thing I was thinking about while watching this was how old the writers were. And thinking about where I was in my life and my relationships at that age. And so trying to write, if Marty Noxon was 30, 31 years old, when I was 30, 31 years old, trying to write a relationship that reflected a certain kind of wisdom or I don't know that I would have been able to do it, any more than this particular episode reflects. I do like the Xander scene with Anya in a bubble. It's just the problem is it comes on the heels of what came before it. We'll get there.
But it's not. We'll get there. See, Ian and I have had many, shall we say, strong debates about that scene. Some very, it's gotten tense in parts.
Val says the only time I truly enjoyed this episode was when I watched it on mushrooms. Just saying. I think that's fair.
That might be the funniest comment I've ever read in the Passion of the Nerd stream. That's great.
Yeah, the one thing I was kind of surprised by when watching this is just
Mm.
how funny the episode actually is.
Yeah, that's some good
That's
lines.
Buffy Riley code for let's have crazy, obnoxious sex. Does that mean
Mm.
we can't? Ugh. And is
I-
it another thing I found weird? So I put a comment in the episode guide about that line, weird,
Mhm.
obnoxious sex.
Yeah.
And it ended up, the way I sort of cushioned it was by making a joke about the furry wall masturbator, right?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah,
But,
yeah, yeah.
but like, it's a weird thing to critique the chemistry and romance of the scenes, you know? But the
Mm.
scene between Buffy and Angel with the rain on the window and them kissing and him saying, Buffy, maybe we shouldn't.
Mm.
And she said, stop, and they sort of fall out of the shot or whatever. I think it's really beautiful. It's a really
Yeah,
beautiful,
I agree.
kind of artistically, it's emotional. I feel an emotion watching it.
Yeah.
Watching these two together.
That's the thing. It's always Riley that ruins it. Like Buffy's great, but then he says like it's got the big. Now here's the thing. Okay, so going through the show now and discussing each episode, I found more empathy for Riley than I've had in the past.
Absolutely.
A hell of a lot more.
Yeah.
He's not a bad guy, and as much as I get Buffy's perspective, I get his too. But I don't know, man. I don't know.
Dawn has no context to compare. Yeah, I realize that.
Yeah.
Plus, I wanted to use a good place take. I call bullshit.
My favorite thing about watching this with you now and talking about it for the next couple hours is that we don't have to talk about Riley again until
Yeah.
whatever that episode's called, when he comes back as a
As you
commander
were.
again. Yeah.
Russell, Ian, as much as you have as much love for Riley as Buffy does. Anyways,
See,
happy holiday weekend. Thank you for the donation, Russell.
on
The
the
buttons
serious
aren't
note,
currently working.
I think Buffy does love him. I just think he doesn't believe it.
I just don't think we know. I think it comes in. She didn't say it. Certainly, I think there are reasons why.
Oh
She
yeah,
may
she
have
never
been
actually
less.
says it, does she?
There were multiple times he said he loved her, and she did not say it
Yeah.
back.
Okay, that means something, especially in a show like this. That
Yeah,
definitely.
my whole
means
point
something.
of in the episode guide, my perspective was it doesn't matter whether she does or does not change everything wrong.
Oh,
with the
I
episode.
don't. Oh,
It does not change a
not
single
with the
thing
episode.
wrong
Not
with the episode and their
Not with the
conduct
episode.
and their behavior and
But
all of that.
It
If
definitely
occurs in a
has.
relationship.
Yes, yes,
Sure.
yes. That's my point.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
It just does not.
Yeah,
It
does
wasn't
nothing.
relevant to a discussion of what is wrong with Into the Woods.
Yeah, yeah, right, right.
You know,
Agreed.
and that's.
Totally
I mean,
agree.
it's easy to make that mistake because
Mm-hmm.
it's like, well, Riley was sure he had a point. Doesn't justify anything that occurred in Into the
Right.
Woods. You know?
Absolutely, yeah. But
Sorry,
it
I'm
does,
already getting worked up. I hate this episode.
but
I
it
hate
certainly
it.
does affect their relationship and his perspective. Like, imagine being with someone for a year and saying you love them multiple times and then not hearing the words said back to you. That's harsh, man.
Absolutely, absolutely, and
Oh, this
should have had a conversation a long time ago.
I suck job. I hate it. It's stupid.
Oh yeah. And the thing is, like, the fight doesn't even have anything to do with that. Do you even love me? Do you love me? Tell me, do you love me? He never says that during the scene.
He jumps to the perspective that she doesn't. I
Right.
mean,
Well, yeah, he's leading as though it's true. Yeah.
yeah. He literally says that to Xander. Is it goodbye Iowa? I think he says it.
I don't remember when the first time was. I think the first time was with Faith.
Really?
Um, yeah, when they're in bed together, when he's in bed with Faith in Buffy's body, he says, "I love you," and that's
Oh
the
yeah,
first
no,
time
yeah.
he says it.
No. I meant when he says she doesn't love me. He says it to Xander.
Oh, that's
Um,
in
it's goodbye Iowa, isn't it?
the no, it's in the duplicate episode at the
Oh,
beginning of
okay.
this season.
The replacement.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. Thanks, Boris. We can always count on you, man. Thanks.
Keeper of the well. Oh, Graham Grant. You should have been Riley.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Season 4, you get rid of Riley. You have her date Graham Grant. And then you have Xander join the military between season 3 and 4. Xander, because of his military training, rushes through and works for the initiative. Xander is in charge, and Xander is the one who has to overcome his control. And then Xander is the one who has no idea what he's doing with his life in this season. Right. You move that arc into this season. Bob's your uncle, or Kevin.
Here's the thing, though. I don't mind shitting on Riley. We all shit on Riley, but I don't like shitting on Mark Blucas because I think his performance is fine. I think his performance is fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially, I think his performance is great.
Is dead weight. The character is dead weight. Period.
Yeah, but I particularly think his performance is great in the episode where Riley's going through the withdrawal stuff.
Gruffy.
Oh my god!
Oh, it would have been so good.
That is Gruffy.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. What's the name we came up with for Buffy and Spike on the pod? Bike.
Yeah, Bike.
Yeah, I like that.
He did the most he could with what was given. Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
No complaints about Mr. Blucas. I think he's
The
writers themselves said they didn't know how to write Riley and the shows.
And I think that makes me feel sorry for him because it's not his fault. For Mark, I mean, I feel sorry for Mark.
Well,
he plays one of the most hated characters in the show.
In the age of social media, I would not want to be a Riley. I mean, work is work, right? If you're an actor, you want to work. But I think being a Lonnie and I have been watching some Survivor, and we watched some. I've never watched Survivor before. I've gotten a little hooked on Survivor, and the early seasons are one thing, but being a villain, quote unquote, in the later seasons, having a Twitter account must be one of the worst experiences. Because it's a show. It's edited. It's selectively assembled.
Actors have been chased off social media because they played a villain. It's ridiculous. Do you people not understand what fiction is?
Yeah. No, but I mean, there's a whole bunch of crazies out there. And bullies and trolls and all of that.
Because there are sometimes when we're live and we're talking about Riley, and I think, I really hope Mark Blucas isn't watching this. Because
Dakota says, what about how Michelle Trachtenberg must have felt? Sure. Or Kennedy. Yeah. I don't think, I can't remember the actress's name.
Exactly the same.
Kennedy, but I don't think it's her fault that Kennedy is the way that she is. Willow and Xander annoyed me more than Riley in season 5. Are you talking about their flirtation in season 3 or affair?
Yeah.
We only came because we care about you, friend.
That frustrated me because I think, Xander, you're an idiot, and it's not often I say that.
Oh, dating Cordelia.
Yeah,
and just
especially in the early seasons, I think Willow and Xander, like, it just made sense. But I don't know. I guess
Yeah,
they're best
when you're
friends.
dating high school Cordelia, it's weird when you're the toxic one. I distinguished
I,
high school Cordelia.
yeah, yeah, okay. I get defensive of my
In that
boy, but
relationship and that situation,
yeah,
yeah.
I can't argue against that, and I don't want to. It's just he's my boy, and I get protective because he's not a bad kid. He's not.
Is that the Slayer? What the hell are you doing bringing the Slayer here? Yuzora, Jack, can you help me with a dance of capitalist superiority? Thank you for the donation. There are actors I think can elevate a role like J. August Richards does for Gunn,
Absolutely.
but I can't say there's a Buffy role I feel was underacted. That's an interesting
Uh,
question.
mm.
I mean, that's a bus throwy kind of question, so.
Because
But just off the top of my head, can I think of someone?
even like the smaller roles, like Mr. Trick, were great.
Yeah. I thought
So
Scott Hope was fine.
Owen, Owen,
Yeah, but is that the writing? I thought that was bad casting.
yeah, that's what I mean though. Like it was underacted because the actor just wasn't great.
He looked like a Riley. As
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I
absolutely,
was just reading books on poetry and death.
yeah. But Owen, I didn't buy that for a second. Like the that Buffy would have liked him, and I didn't buy it for a second.
Beach Girl, yeah, the buttons are still broken. They are sitting in front of me dead. I need to
And
fix
they're
them for the
not
next
broken.
game.
To be fair, they're not broken. Someone just hasn't set them up.
Yeah, I had to erase the PC and reinstall everything from scratch and have not set up the buttons. They are
Sorry,
annoyingly complicated to set up.
I keep throwing you in the deep end.
It's all
I'm
good.
sorry.
All good. Some of the potentials, maybe. Yeah, there were a number of. I
Hmm.
mean, the cast in Seven was enormous, so I'm sure there was
Bad
potential
casting
there.
isn't the actor's fault. I totally agree.
That's why I wouldn't say Owen is necessarily a good example of underacted. I just think that was
Okay.
bad casting.
Um,
Bonus points to Scott for using the word mosey.
Larry was a bit cliche, I guess, but again, I don't think you can call that underacted. I mean, cliche until he comes
Yeah,
out, I guess.
I think he felt like
He's Biff. He's
actually it's
basically
interesting.
Biff.
As a Biff, I thought he felt like a
Hmm.
Biff,
Yeah,
and when he came out and was just sort of joyful and friendly,
yeah,
I thought he
much
felt
better.
like that character.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say underact. No, I mean, underacting has never really been a problem on
No,
on Buffy.
I can't think of like a good example.
I think most of the main cast gets way better over the course of the seasons. The growth in
Hmm.
the ability of the main cast from season 1 to season
Yeah.
2 is extraordinary.
They all get better. I don't think any of them go downhill.
Yeah, yeah. There are for me groany moments from the main cast in the first season that essentially are gone
Hmm.
halfway through season 2. Strangely literal. Nobody says that.
I think you're a couple of seconds ahead of me because my computer started, but that's okay.
Will's hair is very cute.
Yeah. I forgot about all the figures sitting around. Yeah, this episode's funny. It's got some good
Yeah,
lines.
yeah. It's all the stuff pre arm sucking scene.
Hmm.
Well, all the stuff that doesn't have Riley in it is pretty entertaining. Uh,
Giles is great.
That's a good gimmick for chicken feet purchase.
Shiera says problem with Riley was that they wrote him very interestingly with the initiative storyline. When that was over, then what? Yeah, I mean, I
Well,
didn't have. Hmm?
it's just so interesting. Now that we've kind of hit on the Graham Grant being the Riley
Yeah.
in season 4, but you have Xander do the rest of that arc,
Hmm.
and then Xander does the Riley part of the arc in this season where he's lost and trying to find his way, and then
Hmm.
sort of finds carpentry halfway through or whatever it may be.
Yep.
He's just so superfluous, and all the ways in which he and Xander echo and duplicate each other
Hmm.
in this season that really I feel like don't build to anything. But
Right.
it's there. All of the beats between the two of them. Xander fighting for Riley at the end of the episode
Yeah.
instead of that. Like it just didn't.
Yeah. It
It would
all.
have been
Yeah.
so simpler, so much
I
simpler.
I actually didn't have an issue with the military stuff until you pointed out to me how bad it's done, and I'm like, oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, I
You
mean
kind of ruined the initiative for me.
that doesn't fix Adam and Maggie leaving halfway through season 4,
Yeah.
which is still a problem. But
Yeah.
it does, even if you keep the same arc but have it going where Xander is the one feeling mixed feelings and controlled
Yeah.
and all of that, then it's much more interesting. And
Yeah.
if
It seems
Maggie is
like
a stand-in parental figure for him, then you have the
because his
conflict
parents,
with his
his parents.
father in Restless
Yeah.
that much more interesting because the
Oh,
one parental figure that he had that he was looking up to betrayed him and was dark to
dude,
him, like, and that leads to seeing his Hell's Bells and makes that more interesting.
such a missed
Yeah.
opportunity. God, that would have been amazing. Because Xander at times, it's like he's got nothing to do, and this would have given him a really interesting arc
Well,
throughout the
he
season.
doesn't have a ton to do in this season, but that could have
Mm.
been the story because that was the story in season 4 was him
Yeah,
figuring out who he was, all of that. And
yeah.
if the military isn't it, then he has that crisis of identity in this season instead of in season 4. Instead of
Hmm.
Riley having it, and who cares?
Yeah.
If you go with that storyline with Xander, when does he lose his eye this time around? Well, he still loses it in season 7. You don't
Yeah,
change 6 and 7. It just
yeah,
alters the arc in 4 and 5. What is
yeah.
his
And
arc in 5? He doesn't really have an arc in 5.
no, yeah, because like, yeah, and once they all go into college, he seems to like he gets pushed into the background a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, he's not in the background. He just doesn't have much to do, I guess.
The royal who cares. Yeah, exactly, Boris. I guess they wanted to do a romantic pair with Buffy. Well, again, in terms of the romance and the dating aspects of it, you could still have her dating Graham,
Yeah,
you
or
know,
even Riley.
and whatever you think of Graham, what do you think of Riley? Like 6 to 1, half dozen to the other. To me,
Mhm.
I think Graham is more interesting, but it's also in contrast to Riley that I find him more
Yeah,
interesting. Without Riley
yeah,
there, he probably still would have been boring.
exactly. You can't really remove that context.
You know it. Mercenary 84 says, at this point, why doesn't Spike move somewhere else? Everyone knows where he lives. In a
Yeah,
weird way, I think he has Buffy protection.
yeah. And I think he likes to.
And, you
He
know,
likes to be able to stick his nose in when he
being
wants to.
there and being able to have a little taste for the old ultraviolence and to take it out on demons from time to time,
Yeah,
whether he's irritating or not, is a positive force in the
yeah.
battle for Buffy.
And
And so gets a little more
vampires
indulgence.
and vampires and demons and whatnot like to stick close to the hellmouth, right?
Yeah. Yeah. There's the demon attraction too.
Hmm. Oh, shut up, Riley. Shut up. If you touch
I
her,
love
you know I'd
grind.
kill you. Ugh, shut up.
This is his best scene by far. I think you were the one that said,
Riley's?
yeah,
Hmm?
this and But She Doesn't Love Me are my
Yeah.
two favorite Riley scenes in the
Mine,
series.
mine is absolutely She Doesn't Love Me,
Yeah.
and the dream. But what did I say?
I think it was you who said that this is a testament to, um, me and I'm forgetting Spike's acting in this scene,
Yeah,
where
yeah,
he's actually with theater training making his
yeah,
partner look better, and I think
absolutely, yeah,
that may
yeah,
absolutely be true, where he's giving off
yeah,
enough light that they both
mhm.
look
And
shiny, but in
yeah,
comparison.
and James Masters just oozes stage experience. You can see it from a mile away. Yeah,
Observer Dude says, as much as I love Buffy, I do feel the show could have been better in a few areas. Of course.
no,
I think
yeah.
that's true of all of my favorites.
Um,
Big highs, big lows,
that's
but the highs
that
mean more than the lows to me.
that's true of literally every show except for Breaking Bad, of course, because Breaking Bad is perfect.
Yeah, Breaking Bad will be interesting to watch in 10 years, I think, to
Yeah,
see if that's the case. Um,
I mean, I think it's flawless, but I'm
yeah.
sure there's people that don't.
James Marsters, geez, why did I forget his name? Seems like a perfect scene partner. Everyone has chemistry with him, it seems.
Yeah,
Exactly. Everyone that when Marsters is on screen, everyone seems to
he
have chemistry with him.
he just
That's a
makes
good way to put
everyone
it.
look cooler.
Excuse me. Uh, I always be
Be singing.
singing. Says sometimes I think most of the great lines written were given to James. Not complaining, but I understand. I think that
Yeah,
happens when writers
I,
like an actor or really
I
like a
think.
character.
Yeah, I mean, if you write a really great line, you want it to be read by the best
I
person, right?
think that happened with Oz, where
Mm.
the writers really liked Seth Green's delivery and they really liked him. So he ended up with, "What are you doing? Panicking?"
But almost,
He got the sardonic lines,
but
the funny lines.
Oz as a character is so cool that he just sounds cool saying anything. I think.
Sure. Ian, don't hate me, please. But I know I feel this hard. Did I miss a
Buffy just
word there? I always be
punch
singing.
him in the
No, it's
face.
okay.
Punch him in the face. Just punch him.
It's a well acted scene too. She
Hmm.
does a wonderful job. He grabs her
Mm.
like 3 times. It's very annoying. Stop grabbing her arm.
I mean, when you're in the midst of an argument and you want the person to listen to you, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. That could go either way, I guess. But I see what you're saying.
When it culminates with him saying, "Hit me, Buffy, hit me," it all adds up to feel weird to me. That's all I'm
I
saying.
I kind of wish she would just hit him. I'm
I
kidding,
wanted
kind
to
of.
even the score after you let Dracula bite me. I know. On some level, I know that. And then he continues as though he didn't acknowledge that that's nonsense. Like,
Mm.
I wanted to know why they have so much control over you. No,
Yeah, I
no,
don't.
no. You can't be like, no, I know this is nonsense, and then fight for it. That's not how it works.
Yeah, I don't get anything he says here. It's all weak, insecure, like nonsense.
This isn't your fault. It's mine. Except
It's
for
like
all the ways that it's your fault.
he's got some weird hang-ups about, I don't know, masculinity and confidence, and I don't
I
know.
again, I everything leading into this scene I get. Whether you're talking about his masculinity or his insecurity or whatever. It's the execution of this conversation and it leading her to her chasing him at the helicopter. The
Yeah.
math of these three scenes, one after the other, does not add up. I don't have any
Yeah.
problems
I
with the
agree with that.
motivations or anything like that. It's just like, holy hell.
Yeah. I
Scene
don't
three
know.
does
Like
not go with scenes 1 and 2.
this scene in particular, like you dump him, right? I mean, I would.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd just like, this is too much. This is way too intense. Like,
Don't
leave me
let the
alone.
door
You're
hit you
flipping
in
mad,
the ass
man.
on the way. The ultimatum is so stupid. I have to go to the military now. No, you don't.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying, "Hey, you're being wishy-washy and all over the place. I need an answer."
Sure.
But yeah, I don't know.
She's had the information for 20 minutes or
Yeah,
whatever it's been, 2 hours. Wishy
yeah.
washy. She's like,
No, I'm not necessarily saying she's being wishy-washy.
no.
I'm
You're
saying
saying
that
ultimatums make sense. Yeah, I think that I'm not
in some
anti-ultimatum.
context, in some
This
context,
exactly,
yes.
exactly. This
But
ultimatum
not
is
here.
idiotic.
No. Like if he was going in a couple of days, sure, but he's given her what, like 4 hours, maybe. Ugh, that's cringe. It's about me taking care of you.
She has a great line here. This is it. This is the package.
Hmm.
That should have been the end.
I mean, like I've said before, she does shut him out, and I get that, but I also get him the way he feels about that. But
I understand the way he feels.
you
One
can't barge your way
conversation.
back in though. You can't
And the
force
other
that
thing, yeah,
door
the
open.
other thing is he's not establishing the stakes. Like,
Hmm.
this is me. This is the package. That's a good line. Letting her fight for herself, stand up for
Yeah.
herself. And then Xander comes along and kicks her legs out from under her. And Chuck, freaking
Andre,
Chuck.
I guess we're saying that it's character assassination, I guess, but not really in those words. But yeah, we don't think that Riley would, well, a real person would be acting like this. Well, I don't know. There's some
The
weird
scene,
insecure guys out there, though.
this scene could live in. It's the math of this scene to the Xander scene to the run to the helicopter.
Like
The run to the helicopter is selling something that is not set up in these two scenes.
this conversation could exist in the real world, but not with these like this exact all these parameters surrounding it. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Lauren points out he's all butthurt over her not telling him about Joyce, but she didn't tell anyone, not even Giles, about Joyce right away. Didn't tell the
Right.
Scoobies. It happened that Spike was there.
Yeah, but I mean, that's something you would tell your significant other first, right? I mean, if you're close with someone, I don't know.
No. Everyone, uh, not every relationship is different. She's
Sure.
never been through this before. She's never been through this kind of terror
I don't know.
before. And she comes from a
I think
history of abusive relationships
I just
between
feel like
Angelus.
I just feel like it's the kind of thing you would share with a significant other pretty quickly.
I think as a 41-year-old man, yes, I would do that. But I can't say for certain that as a 20-year-old, like I would have behaved better or worse, or if better or worse is a thing. There's just the
I don't know.
way she is. Either way, it just needed a conversation, not an ultimatum, a conversation. They had the conversation in the cave. If I wanted that, then I'd be dating Spike.
Mm-hmm.
This is so dumb. I hate this scene. The Pyro Act was a bad idea, Slayer.
Like,
It's a good fight. It's a good fight.
Yeah, but it doesn't serve any purpose though. Like,
No. Well, the
why?
purpose is to have her harpoon Riley's
Yeah,
primary prostitute. So that
but
Xander
that
can
just makes
say,
the
"You're
scene
going
cruel, which I
crazy."
think you pointed out.
Exactly. That's the whole point
Yeah.
of the scene.
Hmm.
What the weird thing is, wow, there's so many weird things. We're almost done. I'm gonna go to my happy place. I'm
Yeah,
gonna find my power.
I agree, Yazora. He does have a serious entitlement to her thoughts and feelings. Like and that's not right. I mean, I agree, but I don't know. Relationships are weird and hard, and yeah, I don't know.
And then Joan Collins Tude.
It just makes the scene mean. It doesn't.
Yeah. Because of the way they cast that vampire,
Yeah, she's
the
like
deliberate
gaunt
look,
and.
putting bruises on her face,
Mm.
it's designed to make Buffy look unhinged.
See, I don't always be singing as a man. How should he have addressed it? I don't think. Like, I don't think his feelings are wrong or bad. Like, it makes sense for him to be upset about his girlfriend shutting him out. I get that. But I think I mean, that scene where they're fighting, it comes across as him throwing a tantrum, and there's the thumbnail.
Yeah. I love that shot. I think that's a beautiful shot.
Yeah. You okay, Ian?
It's almost done. It's almost over.
This scene really pisses you off, I know.
The-
See,
You're gonna let him go? It's not my decision to make. Of course it is. No, it's his.
no, it's not.
He's
I agree there. It's not.
Abdicating. I said it again. Abdicating his choice.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, no, he's wrong there. But I don't necessarily disagree with Xander's overall point here.
What overall point?
The overall point is, if you love this guy, are you really just going to let him leave because of an argument?
Yeah.
That's essentially what he's saying.
No, that's not because of an argument. It's because the idiot chose to leave. Well, I'm gonna leave unless you give me a reason to stay. What reason?
I'm not. That's not the debate here. That's not the debate here.
She is the reason. She is the reason to stay. To leave is his choice.
Yeah,
so
that's not a debate.
For her
I'm
to
not
like abandon any dignity or right to be mad.
It's not the debate. No, that's not what I'm asking or saying. I'm saying it's just that like.
I'm sorry I used my upset voice.
It's Ian. Come on, buddy. It's okay. I just think that what he's trying to say is, you know, when you strip away all of this nonsense, all of the tension, all of the crap, if you love this guy, don't let him go. Not that she's letting him. I know Riley's leaving. He's choosing to leave. I get that.
Throw your dignity and your right to be mad on the ground and run after a boy.
That's not what I'm necessarily saying either. It's like.
But that's
if
that
you
is
love
the
him,
net result.
It's like if you two love each other, fight for each other. That's essentially like.
Okay, well, you
like,
said you too. You too.
Yes,
so
yes,
so
yes.
so yeah. So
that's
that,
kind of
both
what
of them.
Meaning
don't
yes,
leave Sunnydale over a fight.
Yes, that's kind of what I'm saying. Don't back me into a corner here, Ian. I know what you're gonna. No, go on, say it.
No,
Whatever.
no.
And
Sarah says
and
there's a way to
and
say that, Jack.
and
It's not
I
this.
agree. I agree. I'm not. Again, that's not what I'm saying. I agree. There is a better way to say it, but that's essentially what he's trying to say.
The other weird thing is like the reason for
And
him
I
to
agree.
leave is to
I
have a
agree
life.
with that too, Andre. I totally agree. It's Riley's choice to leave. That's not what I'm debating either. Sorry, Ian. What?
No, nothing.
No, no, it's okay.
I hate it. I hate it.
Mm,
It's the opposite. Like Angel and Buffy agreeing like he needs to go. I think maybe he's right, and Angel nodding and walking away in the fog. And it's such like a melancholy, but we know it's the right decision. This is all so bad.
yeah, Riley's pathetic ultimatum major botch. I agree. I do. I totally agree. Especially he gives her what, maybe 4 hours if we're being generous. Like, it's stupid. I really like the thing you did with swapping out the music. By the way, that was really cool. That was a fun idea. You're so annoyed now that you're just done.
Jack,
Yeah, it's
I
okay,
love you.
buddy. I love you too, and I don't love this episode either.
That made me feel better.
I just want to give you a big hug and tell you it's gonna be okay. We've got less than 2 minutes. No, 2 minutes. No, a bit more than 2 minutes. It's gonna be okay. Now we get to see the pretty scene.
My face started to freeze in a scowl.
Yay, he's gone. Woo!
He's gone. At least he's gone.
Shiera, I don't have a passion about this episode. I just, that scene in particular.
Jessica. Bye.
See, this scene is gorgeous. Love it. Can I date him?
Have at it.
Come on, don't be that bitter. This is gorgeous. You have an issue with this? I know you think it's about Buffy, but it's not. It's not.
Sure it is. It absolutely is.
No,
His
it's
motivation
not.
to have this conversation is Buffy
sure,
and Riley.
But there's nothing
And
wrong
it comes
with it.
off
He
as
just
such
saw,
a superior ass in his scene with her that this is him proving he's better than they are.
He just saw one of his best friends' relationships crumble. And he is like, no, I love this woman. I do not want that to happen. And I do not remind her often enough of how much she means to me. So he goes to her and he tells her how much she means to him. That is gorgeous.
I prefer your interpretation, even though I don't agree with it.
Okay, that's fine. I'm used to it at this point.
It's over.
It is. It's over.
A month on that. I hate that episode so much. A month on that. Wow. Okay. So, Jack, any other things to say about Into the Woods?
No, we've said it all.
I'll be skipping that one on my next rewatch. Jack, if I said anything out of anger or frustration, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. And if I have angered you in any way, I apologize.
I didn't mean to get my Into the Woods rage on anyone. I need Into the Woods therapy.
to be clear, I don't like this episode either. I really don't. And I am now relieved that we don't really have to talk about Riley anymore.
Yeah, well,
Um,
after the hangout, but
yeah, well, yeah, true. There's going to be like 3 hours of Riley coming up.
yeah, I get to revisit some of these feelings in Are You Now or Have You Ever? But good lord. Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Jack's Passion more entertaining than Into the Woods. I agree.
Thank you, thank you. I just think that last scene is cute, but and look, I don't disagree. He goes on to leave her at the altar, blah blah blah. I get it. I totally agree. But that scene,
No,
is not.
I actually had like I think Hell's Bells is painful and to watch, but I think much more justifiable within his character than this scene. This scene,
see, no, it bugs me because
awful.
it wasn't real. That I always come back to it. It wasn't real, and he should know that. But I know, I get it. It could be real, but
Right. That's the thing is he's been afraid of the entire time. Is turning into his father.
Yeah. But anyway, we're not here to talk about those bells. It's all good.
All right. So I'm going to take about a 15-minute break and then fire it up, and we're going to watch all 40 minutes of the episode guide for this one. I'm going to talk about that as we go. Kind of my thoughts, all of that. If you enjoyed the conversation with Jack and myself, we do a podcast called Podcast of the Nerds over on a different channel. Jack's going to throw that in chat.
I am indeed.
That is much more personal life stuff and kind of all of that. Last thing we talked about was Don Juan DeMarco romantic comedies and our perspectives on love and romance.
And we are aiming to record another episode next week.
You know how these things go.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. All right, friends. We will see you soon. About 15, 20 minutes.
Thank you.
Bye.